In the last couple videos, we talked about resets and micro breaks, quick ways to get a bit of a relief during the day. But sometimes micro breaks feel less like recovery and more like the short breath the swimmer takes while trying not to drown. And then the question becomes, what are we actually dealing with here? Is it regular fatigue or is it survival? And if you feel that you're being stuck in a survival mode and no amount of breaks can help you break the surface, this video is for you because surviving sucks. And there are ways to break out of it. In this video, I will offer several directions where you can look so you could choose what's attainable for you right now. Hi, I'm Tamara, a certified master health coach. And I work with people who are doing their best to stay functional, resting when they can, squeezing in breaks, trying to manage stress, and still feeling like they're barely keeping their head above water. And often, when it comes especially to caregivers, the problem isn't effort, it's the conditions. Micro breaks work beautifully when you're swimming laps in a pool. They don't work the same way when you're in the open ocean, especially if it's stormy and maybe you're not that much of a swimmer. So how long can we keep it up? Honestly speaking, quite long. A human being can stay in survival mode for a very long time. But just because we can survive like this doesn't mean it's healthy. So let's talk about the systems that can actually keep us afloat and out of burnout or worse. These systems I'll be talking about take root in the wellness model, first developed by Dr. Peggy Swarbrick in 1997. Since then, the model evolved into national vision for behavioral health and way beyond to broad application across the lifespan. And it was first popularized by Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, and later by National Institutes of Health, and taught in universities across the globe. The model shows how different areas of our life are interconnected and affect each other and our overall well-being. Dr. Swarbrick defined wellness as a conscious, deliberate process that requires a person to become aware of and make choices for a more satisfying lifestyle. I resonate with this definition very much because while we can't control our lives, whether it's caregiving, illness, financial stress, grief, major life transitions, or any other storm, we can gradually change three things: how prepared and skilled we are ourselves, what helps keep us afloat, and whether we stay in open water nonstop, or we can choose to hop into a hot tub every once in a while. Important note, what I'm going to talk about may feel overwhelming if you look at it as a to-do list that you have to complete perfectly in order to feel better. It's not this. It's more like a Cheesecake Factory-style menu with tons of options for every taste and occasion. So view it this way and see what you have capacity to change now. There's no need for perfect, just to make your next step towards better. The first number on the menu is the state of your physical health. And it includes any health conditions, chronic or acute, your level of fitness, overall quality of your nutrition and sleep. And it's a huge one that I myself keep overlooking. I've already told this story on this channel, how I was trying to be a high-functioning adult on 45 hours of very much interrupted sleep per night. Well, you can guess how it was going. And it's an example of a situation when 20% of effort solve 80% of struggles. Somehow, when I have prioritized getting enough sleep, my work got a lot better, parenting felt a lot easier, and all the other parts of life just improved. So taking care of your body can sometimes make all the difference you need. The other times, it's not physical but mental state. It combines any mental health conditions as well as your coping skills and emotional resilience. Again, my own example. I've been living with undiagnosed and untreated ADHD for almost 40 years, and getting diagnosed and treated changed everything. So please, don't neglect this side of you. If you feel that you are constantly struggling and toughening up isn't working, please seek help. We are lucky to live in a time when mental health is not a taboo topic anymore. The help is there, and there are options available now. You don't have to suffer anymore. The third floaty is social health. One of my favorite quotes is, "Never worry alone," by Dr. Robert Waldinger, current director of the Harvard Study of Adult Development. And according to this study that lasted for 85 years, the quality of your connections with other people, both deep and casual, is the biggest predictor of happiness. It does take a village, after all. The fourth direction to look into is your immediate environment. Places you have to be that silently influence your well-being and can either be supportive or quietly destroying. It starts with your home and workplace and continues to your neighborhood, what you have available nearby, how easy and safe it is to go places, and goes all the way to air quality and systems that are in place in your country, such as access to healthcare or education or clear water. You may not be able to move to a different country tomorrow, although it's also an option, and my family used it once. But making your home or workplace more supportive is very attainable. There are multiple small things that can be done within your space, no matter how tight it is, that can improve your mood, focus, and overall well-being. And I'll talk about it in more detail in future videos for sure. Next is something that may be referred to as spiritual or existential wellness, but you don't have to follow a religion or any specific spiritual practice in order to search for your whys. It's more about your connection with your own self and finding the sense of purpose and meaning. The key here is when you know your motivation, why you're doing what you're doing, making tough choices becomes easier and not as draining. The sixth system is knowledge and education. And I'm not talking about getting a fancy degree or being an intellectual worker. It's about staying curious and open-minded, willing to keep learning and deepening your understanding of how the world works. My university's motto says, "We won't make you smarter, we'll teach you how to think." And I love it, because the skills of critical thinking or studying itself can save you so much pain, time, and even money. The last on my list today is your occupation and financial security. Needing to think of how to feed your family tomorrow, or having to spend your working hours in an unhealthy work environment takes a huge toll on your inner battery. Unfortunately, though, often enough, we have very limited flexibility in choosing our jobs. And I understand how it is when you just don't have a choice. So if your job is something that is dragging you down, the obvious way will be to seek another option. But if that's not a possibility at the moment, try to reinforce all the other floaties, so they could support the weight of this extra burden. And the same is true for all the other areas. If there is one outsider, then you just can't turn from the rock on your neck into life vest right now. There is more reasons to ensure the other systems are strong enough to shoulder it for a time being until your circumstances change. If you take just one thing from this video, let it be this. If you are exhausted, overwhelmed, or barely keeping your head above water, it doesn't automatically mean you're weak, unmotivated, or doing something wrong. It may simply mean that you've been swimming in rough water for a long time without enough support. So micro breaks or resets matter. They're real. They can keep you going for now, but they're not meant to carry the full weight of your life. Staying afloat long-term requires systems. Not perfect systems, not all at once. Just enough support to stop fighting for every breath. Instead of asking, How do I push through this right now? Try asking, what would make staying afloat a little less exhausting right now? Maybe it's your body. Maybe it's your mind. Maybe it's connection or environment or meaning or knowledge or finances. You don't have to fix everything. You don't even have to pick the right thing. You just need one floaty that actually holds. And if you're in season where the water is especially rough, it's okay to stop swimming for a little bit. Find a pool or sit in a hot tub and recover. That's not quitting. That's preserving yourself. You're not broken. You're not failing. You've been surviving, and survival kept you alive. But you deserve more than just staying afloat. In the next videos, I'll go deeper into some of these systems, one at a time, so you don't have to figure it out alone.